It is a beautiful autumn morning here in Durham. And you know what that means? Leaf blowers. Not the best sound if you want to film or interview people. But I'm going to step away from the noise of that leaf blower. He's just doing his job, so I mean, can't blame him. And I have to really show you something spectacular, and I'm so glad that today we're ending our days of filming here in Durham. I've been here once before, more than 10 years ago, during my first visit of England and Scotland, and we visited Durham Cathedral, which dates back to the Middle Ages. It's built around the year 1000. This is also the shrine, or contains the shrine, of Saint Cuthbert, one of those Gaelic monks that has been extremely important for the evangelization of England and Scotland. And we're here to kind of wrap up the story, going to his tomb and learning about his lasting impact for Christianity in Europe. This is the side entrance to the cathedral. We're still waiting for permission to film and to interview the local vicar here. So we've been trying to arrange interviews, but since this was a last-minute idea to go film this entire documentary, some of our emails got lost and everything, but they're working on it right now. They're very, very friendly and kind and helpful, so we're really hopeful that we can find someone who can tell us that last part of the story. And you may have noticed, by the way, that my accent has changed over the last couple of days from American accent to a more, I don't know, kind of a blend of British, and it's all fake, of course. But anyway, I just don't feel, it doesn't feel right to use a very American accent in these surroundings. It'll be back to normal once I get back home. But what I want to do now is I'm going to take you inside, and since this is a side entrance, and we're still waiting for for the vicar to help us, I'm going through this corridor because I want to show you something that I'm absolutely certain that most of you will recognize right away. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but I'm sure that you will know what it is. This is, as you can tell, a cloister, and I'm deliberately not showing you the other side yet. This is a beautiful entrance to the chapter house. This has also been, until the late Middle Ages, the location not only of the cathedral, but there was also a monastery. So monks used to live and pray here, Benedictine monks. And that goes back to the time of Saint Cuthbert as well. His body, well, he didn't really live here. As you know, he came from Iona and then went to Holy Island, was basically died as a hermit again. And then when first the Vikings invaded the place, and then later on the Danes, the pagans at that time, that wasn't Christianized yet, and the monks were so keen on preserving the relics of Saint Cuthbert that they took his body, his coffin, and traveled with it for more than a century, just to escape from the Danes. And every time they built a church dedicated to St. Cuthbert, where as a temporary repository for his body, and then whenever that was threatened, they moved it again. And after 100 years, they came with his body to Durham and gave it its final resting place in a small church that later on was replaced by this gigantic cathedral. And from that time on, monks have always lived here. And what I want to show you right now is something you absolutely recognize. And it is this view. You know what that is, right? Especially if I start to hum the tune. Yes, indeed. This is the courtyard where they filmed the scenes from the first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or the Sorcerer's Stone, depending on which version you have seen. And this is where, among other things, they did film also here in these cloister corridors, but this is also that famous shot in the snow where Harry releases Hedwig at the end of the movie. So this is not just hallowed ground for Christians and for Catholics, but this is also hallowed ground for geeks and Harry Potter fans. Of course, later on, they used sets and extended the Hogwarts castle tremendously. But it's still amazing to be walking here and thinking, this is where in the imaginary world of Harry Potter, wonderful things, wonderful magical things took place. It is really gorgeous in real life as well. Hello. All right. Well, I have to go back, and we are probably going to start filming soon. So thank you so much for watching this. I really wanted to share this with you. Stay subscribed, like and share this video, especially if you know any Harry Potter fans who'd like to see this. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Take care.